Hello everybody, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Gravitalk. And the reason why it's called Gravitalk is because my name is Gravitan and I'll be your host for the evening. Unless you're not watching this in the evening, then I am your host for whenever the hell you are watching this. And also, it's called Talk because we talk about things, but specifically, we talk about movies. Probably should have better specified that in the freaking title, but who cares? I've been already doing this for a year and a half, regardless of whether or not people are actually watching this. Probably, I think, hopefully. Please, please. Okay, so anyway, and what we talk about is movies. And as you know, it wasn't until last episode, Age of Ultron's episode, when we finally got back into the fix of things. Yes, I had a little break, because, I just reviewed the movies I actually give a shit about, and so there was a bit of a gap between Chappie and Age of Ultron, which is ironic considering that one is about robot, becoming sentient and destroying all humanity, and the other is also that, but not destroying all humanity, but almost. Not really though. They think it will, but it doesn't. But anyway, so yes, but now that the gap is over, that means we're gonna have a lot more calming time, more time for me to talk about the movies, and as I've revealed, recently, or wait a minute, that hasn't been released yet, but as I've explained, or will explain when you eventually see that, I recorded this beforehand, but, the thing that I'm referring to, but when you eventually see it, you'll know that I reveal where this studio is being filmed at. Sorry, where this studio is at. Because as you know, I film in this nice studio that you're seeing right now on your YouTube video. No, it's not just a screenshot of a fake studio made from probably the Vectorworks or something. I don't freaking know, but anyway, so I reveal where this studio is, where it actually is. But for now, I don't want to spoil yet, so you're gonna have to watch that video. You're gonna have to watch the season finale of Bludnovsky's show. Yes, he was on he was on the previous review, talking about how he is not used to watching movies anymore, so I had to get him back into the fix of things, so, to rekindle his mind on it. Hopefully, he's agreed that he'll take a break once his season is over, and his season is almost up, he's getting there. Next week is the season finale of his show, so here's hopes crossing that he'll, learn to, appreciate that there is more to life than TVs. There's more to life than that. There really is. And so, but meanwhile, while he's doing that, I get to go back into reviewing movies on a regular basis, and I'll start that 2 weeks ago with Age of Ultron, but now I'll continue that with this movie. And the movie in question today, of course, is the latest blockbuster to be splattered across the silver screen, and that film is Mad Max, the Fury Road. And today, accompanying me on this review is a fellow supervillain, a constant regular on the show that I've used, that sounds horrible, that I have had on the show many times before, and she is a very much a mainstay, Amanda Waller. Hey, thanks for coming back, Amanda. We really appreciate it. don't rub it in. Don't rub it in that I've been on this bullshit program for several times and I'm the most common one. I'm not proud of that shit. I see you're still a little bit of a cranky curmudgeon about that. It's not that I'm a cranky curmudgeon in general. I just don't like doing this. I have to come on this program and deal with your bullshit white boy and have to do this. You should know by now that I don't enjoy doing this. I really don't. And I know that. You didn't even agree to be on Bludnowski's show. Well, of course I wouldn't. He only talks about, like, supervillainy on TV shows. And sure, I show up on Arrow every now and then, but it's not enough to even give a shit about. Yeah, maybe people will give a shit when you show up on the Suicide Squad movie. Whatever the hell. I don't give a shit about that. All I give a shit about is getting this over with so I never have to show up on this here program again. Really? You don't like you don't like being here? That actually hurts me a little bit. It's not that I hate you. I just hate the game. I don't hate the player. I hate the game. I hate this bullshit about talking about movies and whatnot. It's just not my cup of tea. I see, and you don't even like talking to Bludnowski, which is why you haven't even been on his season. Except for that one time, which has not been released yet, but it's been recorded already. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. But yes, I eventually caved in, and I eventually do show up on the program, very briefly, but it's only out of obligation, and also so I don't have to show up ever goddamn again. And also, that's what I plan to do here. Really? You don't want to show up again here? No, okay, and it's for two reasons. One, I'm fed up with your bullshit, and two, it's because, you got other guys to look for, and other women too. I mean, it feels like you only have me here because I'm a woman, and you have very few women friends. That's not true. I also have no, wait, she tried to kill me. No, hold on. I do have, no, wait, she also tried to kill me. Where there's no way she put a restraining order on me. Oh my god, you are my only female friend. Oh god. Well, I mean, I have had the lady with the 3 names, though. She's been on the program. Yeah, but you had a hissy fit with her. Well, now, hold on. That was a very temporary hissy fit. I am perfectly comfortable with her coming back. Eventually. Maybe. Perhaps. Well, until you do, I'm deciding that I need to check out of here and take a break from all this bullshit. After all, you got other people to rely on, okay? Yeah, I guess you're right. You have been on the program quite a few times. Maybe it is time for you to take a sit and, Did you just tell me to take a shit? No, I said take a sit and take a breather. But before you do, can't you just review this one last movie with me before you go out into the world and live your life? I suppose so. Okay, fine. Let's get this shit over with. Let's do Mad Max. By the way, why do you need me for Mad Max? Well, because since we did Hunger Games together, I thought that was our go-to genre now, Hunger Games. No, my go-to genre is... Shit, I don't know what genre I am. I guess it's... Shit, I think I am your futuristic guy. I did Hunger Games. Well, not futuristic guy, I am a woman, but I did Hunger Games. I did Transcendence, and I did that Maze movie, Maze Runner. Yes, you're like my futuristic lady, who I go for the future reviews. Well, guess what? I'm not coming back for Terminator. No way, no how. You're gonna have to find someone else for that. But wait a minute. Maleficent wasn't no futuristic movie. It's true. I was kind of hoping you would be like both my futuristic lady and and also my empowering woman lady. Since we did Hunger Games. Uh, Now let me tell you something right here. Now, why the fuck would you need me for the futuristic top movies? Well, because I have so far, so why not? Well, guess what? This is gonna be the last one, okay? You're gonna have to get someone else for Terminator. You're gonna have to get someone else for Tomorrowland. Well, I'm not sure if that's really the future or not. That seems like it's more like an alternate dimension where things are futuristic. I don't know. Tune back. Come back to me in a week. Well, I am not, because this is it, okay? This is my last futuristic movie. I'm not even a futuristic person. My shtick doesn't even have anything to do with futuristic things. Why don't you get Reverse Flash for that? Well, it's a little bit iffy on Reverse Flash right now, in case you haven't seen the recent developments, but that hasn't been recorded yet. Anyway, but I need you, man. I need you for Mad Max. Okay, fine. Let's just do it already. Let's do Mad Max. We've been procrastinating way too much. We've been spending 11 goddamn minutes on this. Yeah, agreed. Okay, let's do it then. Let's do Mad Max. Well, let's not literally do him. He probably doesn't appreciate that. But yes, let's tackle Mad Max. Okay, so let's first establish who Mad Max is. Yeah, he's some guy from the future. Well, he's not from the future. He is in the future, not like John Connor or something. He who like has come from the future. Mad Max has no time travel. He's always been in this post-apocalypse. Ah, yes, post-apocalypse. Yes, as we've dealt with before on the program, and no longer. Yes. So the Mad Max movies are about the post-apocalypse, and we've had the first Mad Max, and then we had the second one, and the third, and this is the fourth installment, and this I've decided to look at the previous Mad Max films to, get an idea of what the Mad Max films are all about. I realized something. Oh, really? What that is? Well, first of all, there is the matter of, yes, it is the post-apocalypse, which is an overdone, well, not overdone, but it is a common, movie genre, or movie subgenre, and, it has been done several times. But the Mad Max films, what I've noticed, is that good God, holy shit, oh, what the fuck, their level of post-apocalypse in each movie seems to be drastically, different in each one, like starkly different, like holy shit. I can't explain what the hell you're talking about. Well, first of all, you get the first Mad Max film where everything feels like it's slightly in the future, but it doesn't feel like it's the post-apocalypse. It feels like it's just like, oh, the politics is a little bit more corrupt, but it doesn't feel like it's post-apocalypse. It just feels like, oh, it's in a slightly more corrupted future. And then you get to the second one where, holy shit, it's like, oh, there was this huge bomb and there was these big-ass wars and now the government is all non-existent and everything is fucked up and you got people in leather and people dressed up in leather and all these big old cars, like, made out of junk and like there's an entire societies have been crumbled. And that didn't feel like that in the last one. Like, we had regular cars in the last one. It was just that things felt slightly more corrupted. But here, holy shit! That was only in the second one, right? Yes, in the second one it was like that. And then you got the third one, and that's even more drastically different. Like, oh my god. It's like, you got camel-drawn, sleighs, and you got all these people, and you got, like, mutants, or at least these ugly-ass people, and all this batshit insane corrupt society of warriors and you got Mad Max who's in all of it, and you got monkeys, and you got these tribal kids who are like a part of his tribe, and it's like, holy shit, oh my god, how the hell does this take place in the same universe as the first one? Jesus freaking Christ. And, does that feel the same way in this here movie? Huh. Well, here's the thing about this movie. I'm not sure what to place it for this fourth film. You know, the first one was Mad Max. The second one was Mad Max Fury. This one's Fury Road. The second one was Mad Max Road Warrior. The third one was Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. And this one, Fury Road. This one feels kind of like a reboot, but not sort of. I mean, there are things that make it feel like it is in continuity. It's just that they, recasted Mad Max, because they're trying to give off the implication that this is not too long after the last one, even though they recasted him. But you have to recast him in order to keep him the same age. But what feels different is the backstory. That's changed a little bit. So does that mean we should just jump into it then? Like, just take this film apart bit by bit, or whatever the hell you say? Yes, it is time to do that. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Good God, it's been 60 minutes in and we're only doing that now. See what I mean? This bullshit? You don't get to the point. I see, I have to work on that. Good God, I've been doing this for a year and a half and I'm still having trouble, doing this anyway. So let's do it now. Let's do it. Let's just do it. So the film begins with a big rusty WB logo, and then we just jump into it. We don't jump into it. First, we get some backstory from Tom Hardy as the Mad Max, being like, the society, their rewards, and our society destroyed itself, and now there's all that's left is this, and I used to be a cop, and now I'm just, after the war, I'm just this guy, I'm just a drifter. I'm just a drifter. And then we get the drifter guy. We get Mad Max, this drifter, as we've established in the previous films. This Mad Max fellow is a drifter who used to be a cop, but now all that pleases him is to ride the roads and go through this world just driving, and he eats a two-headed lizard, and that establishes his character as a two-headed lizard eating man. Yeah, but isn't this how all the movies are? It's weird. It feels like these movies here, they follow a formula, it feels. Well, kind of. They kind of do follow a formula, but the thing is that, the first one didn't. It didn't go by this formula. Funny enough, it actually established the origin of Mad Max, why he is mad, and why he is always on the road. It establishes that first forward, and then the other films are of him having this formula of him being on the road, mind his own business on the road, and then he gets reluctantly caught up into these situations where a group of people need his help, and he has to help them in a certain way. And then that's how it's been ever since. And this movie does follow that a little bit, does kind of follow that formula, but it also does its own thing a few times. It actually does a few things differently a little bit, and we'll get into the reason why. But first, let's follow the formula of how he's just he's just minding his own business, being on the road, being a badass in this post-apocalyptic world, until a band of scallywags have to go and kidnap him. Yes, they capture him. This band of post-apocalyptic like biker band of people in these post-apocalyptic automobiles, and they grab him and they take him to this dystopia society where it's ran by this corrupted burnt up man who and you know, it's the weirdest thing. It feels like this is a trope. Yeah, this trope of like the overlord has to be this guy who was injured earlier and has to wear a breathing apparatus. Don't we get that a lot? Yeah, we've got that with Darth Vader, the Cobra Commander, Bane, and it's funny that we bring up Bane considering that he's in this movie as Mad Max, except he doesn't have his Bane mask. We'll get into a minute about that. That is a bit of a debate, if you know what I mean. But anyway, so this guy also has a breathing apparatus, because I guess that's a cliche. It's like mandatory now. Like, you must only be in the movie if you have a breathing apparatus. So this guy is a Mr. Breathing Apparatus guy, and he's very, he looks like if Darth Vader or if Bane decided to be a rock star, and he's got his apparatus, and he's all like rocking with the big old rock and roll wig, and he's cool, and well, not really cool, because you know he's this polygamist asshole who is the dark dictator of this dystopia, where he only lets people water every now and then. He's like the turtle villain from Rango. He's like the turtle from that, except badass and not a turtle, and he lets people, you know, have water every now and then, and the people have to be fighting each other in the mud, and he's also got milk. He's also a milk businessman. Got milk? Well, good, because it's milk from humans, from obese women that he has as cows. Ew, gross! Now hold on, as a representation of proud, big women, I say, what the hell? What the hell is this guy doing, exploiting women with their milk? Though that milk should only be for babies, okay? You need some cow milk. Well, for all we know, the cows are like mutated into teenage ninja mutant cows, like from Fairly Odd Parents. So getting back to the movie, So yes, he has his own army of skinheads, these pale-faced skinheads. I guess they're not neo-Nazis, so at least they got that going, and they keep Mad Max in this bird cage, and they need a shipment. They need a shipment of this, so they get you know how whenever you drive around in the roads and you see those milk semi-trucks, you know, full of milk, those milk trucks, you know, huge big old semi-trucks connected to those milk tanks. Well, this lady has a milk tank, and she needs to deliver it to a place. So she needs to deliver it somewhere. So this lady, who looks like Carol from The Walking Dead, except she's a cyborg. She has like a steampunk robot hand. This cyborg lady is having this haul, you know, this haul of milk, and she's delivering it. So she goes out of the utopian society with the milk, and she has a bunch of henchman from the apparatus guy, from the breathing apparatus dude. I'll call him Rock and Roll Bane. So anyway, no, wait a minute, not Rock and Roll Bane, because that'll be confusing, considering there actually is a rock and roll character in this movie, but I'm spoiling that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, get back on track. So anyway, So the cyborg lady is driving the haul of milk outside of the society, you know, to do a delivery order. But then she's like, okay, I'm going to go a little bit off the road. I'm going off the road, and I'm going to go in a little bit of a detour. And one of the henchmen is like, hey, I see you're going on a detour. That's okay that you're doing that. Just remember that that this detour you're pulling, it better be off code, so we're just gonna supervise you. It's a little bit suspicious, but we're letting you do it. I'm the cool guy. I'm your friend. So anyway, she's doing this, but the longer she does it, and the more off road, off course she does it, the skinheads who work for this post-apocalyptic mullet Bane realize, hey, post-apocalyptic mullet Bane, Bane with a mullet. This guy, that lady is going way off course. I think she's escaping. And they're like, huh, that's weird. Hey, where are my prostitutes? Where are my ladies that I have sex with against their will? Oh my gosh, they're gone! They're gone, where are they? Oh, she took them! She took them! Oh, we have to do something about this. We have to go chasing after her. Let's get all of the important people who run my dystopia, and let's all go capture her. Let's all do it. Let's all stupidly go. Let's all have the people of importance of this dystopia, all the leaders, after her. My son, this obese man with the golden nose. The man with the golden nose. Everybody. This rock star, this guitar player, let's bring him too so he can supply some tunes because radios don't exist. So he'll supply the ambience. And let's all go. Let's all do this. And as they're doing this, a bunch of skinheads go with them, and one of the skinheads has a little brother, played by Nicholas Hoult, and Nicholas Hoult is like, bring me, I wanna go too, I wanna please the master, and his big brother, I guess that's his big brother, maybe it's like his dorm mate or something, he's like, hey, you're too weak, and he's like, no, I'm not too weak, I'm gonna beat you up to show that I am strong enough. And he's like, okay, you're strong enough to do this, and let's take a hood ornament in with us. And if you've seen the previous Mad Max films, you would know that the culture in the post-apocalyptic future includes that in the future, hood ornaments are actual human beings. And the hood ornament they choose happens to be the Mad Max. Yes, they choose Max to be their hood ornament, and of course they come to regret that later. So they're chasing after the semi truck full of the women that the Bane has sex with, his sex slaves, and so she's kidnapping them. She's trying to bring them to a better place. Not heaven. She's not killing them. She's just trying to literally bring them to the better place, a place that she used to live in, a fantastic place, a utopia, as opposed to this stupid dystopia. So she's driving, but then they catch up to her, and her henchmen realize, hey, wait a minute. You're trying to steal things. What the fuck are you doing? So she beats them up. She beats them off. Oh, whoops. Whoops. What the fuck are you talking about? Sorry. So she defeats them, and but now she has to deal with all of the evil people of the dystopia. The evil biker gang from hell. Figuratively from hell, but. Anyway, the evil, molded Bane's, henchman going after her, and one of them happens to be Mad Max as a hood ornament, but then she, realizes that she can shake them if she goes into the horrible giant-ass sandstorm. Yes, a giant-ass sandstorm. What the fuck are you doing? I'm singing the Sandstorm song, Druid by Sandstorm. Oh, that's what you're doing. What the fuck? Yes, this is not just any sandstorm. Apparently, every single type of storm that you can possibly think of, tornadoes, blizzards, tsunamis, thunderstorms, tornadoes, the hurricanes, just everything, literally everything, sandstorms, everything that you can imagine that is a sandstorm, just every possible type of storm, tornadoes, blizzards, sandstorms, thunderstorms, hurricanes, just every single type of storm you can imagine, having an orgy, just having a huge storm orgy, and this is the storm they have to deal with. And they're driving through, and several people perish, and there's epic music, and you have a few survivors, but and the and the and the and the spit it out, man. And the truck that has spit it out, you asshole. Sorry, it's just so epic. The truck that has the Nicholas Hoult, the albino Nicholas Hoult in it, crashes. But his bigger brother, whoever the hell that was, his big brother survives, and that's the big brother with the Joker scars that look like Joker scars, but apparently he didn't realize that with those Joker scars caused them to spread out, so he has to stitch them up, he has to staple them. So that guy is back with the pack, but albino Nicholas Hoult, however, he crashes in the middle of the storm, and he happens to be chained up next to Mad Max, because Max was trying to beat his ass, was trying to beat him up, and he was like, no, I'll have no of that, so he chains him up. But now they're both caught in the storm, and then the storm ends, or it goes away, or it passes. I wonder if that storm was a result of those, of that big nuclear war that happened, whatever the hell that was. I guess it was that nuclear war. By the way, since the fear of nuclear war is no longer as relevant now as it was back when the original Mad Max movies were made, it does bring up the question of, does the amount of time, so does the time now, what I'm trying to ask is, so was this apocalypse that happened, in this movie, was it the same apocalypse that happened in the, previous Mad Max films? Well, what do you mean by that? Well, what I mean is that it happened at the same time, because it doesn't seem, the thing with the Mad Max films, the previous Mad Max films, is that they heavily imply that the nuclear explosion that caused the apocalypse to happen, happened, around our modern time, which was the 1980s, and so, is that how it still is in this movie? Was the apocalypse still in the 1980s? Because if you look at all the cars that are used for these new post-apocalyptic vehicle contraptions, they look like they were made out of cars that would have been made but back then, and not the cars that were made now. So that does bring up the question is this still in the same post-apocalypse type thing? Oh, that's interesting. Not interesting enough to interrupt the whole review. Get back on track. Sorry. Anyway, so they survived the sandstorm, but actually not just a sandstorm. It had like every element imaginable. There was like lightning, and there was snow and water, and there was earth, wind, and fire. Basically, earth, wind, and fire beat them up. Play that funky music, white boy. Continue this funky review, white boy. Or should I say white middle-aged man. Sorry. So they survived the thunderstorm, but he's still, but Max is still chained up to that albino boy. And they make it over to the semi-truck, that's holding the, beautiful young ladies. And he doesn't realize that's the case until he goes and approaches them. And they're like, and then, damn it, you're interrupting them. They're trying to have a bath right now with the water they brought, okay? And they all look like angels from above, and they're all sexy and hot, and some of them are barefoot and whatever. And I'm like, hey, we got a movie to do here, people. So Mad Max does what he always does in the movies, and he's a complete dickbag, and he doesn't regard the fact that they're trying to run for their freaking lives. And he's like, hey assholes. Give me some of that water. And he's like, okay, good. Now unchange me from this chain. Break my chain. So I can unchain myself from this unconscious albino boy. And they try doing it, and they're doing it, but then they notice that that the villain group, the pack, the Evo pack of the post-apocalyptic bikers is nearing them. They're nearing with their evil rock star and whatnot. They're all coming towards them, and the cyborg lady, played by I am forgetting her name, but the cyborg lady, who is played by Charlize Theron. You had to look that up, but I did it smoothly. I'm a smooth operator, but not Mad Max, which is why the cyborg lady beats him up. It's beating him up, and all of her lady friends, the sex slaves, are like, hey, we want to beat him up too, and they think she's a bad guy, and I never like that, because even though I'm a villain, and I'm okay with good guys beating up good guys, I always think, okay, you're gonna eventually, team up together, so why don't you get that the fuck over with, instead of just being all tedious with us, like having to wait for it. Instead we just have to tolerate like this bickering, like I'm beating up, and also albino Nicholas Hoult wakes up, and he is involved in it, and he beats people up, and they're beating each other up, and they're like, hey guys, you're supposed to be good guys, okay? They're the bad guys, and you're the good bad guys, except for Nicholas Hoult, of course. And so Mad Max is having a fight with the cyborg lady, and they're having a fight. But then he's like, "Hey assholes, I got a gun! Bang bang bang! Whoops! I shot one of the ladies. I shot her in the leg. Whoopsie doodle. But seriously, I'm gonna take this semi, okay?" And cyborg Charlize Theron realizes that Mad Max is not a part of them. He's just a douchebag who's just trying to do his own thing. He just wants to freaking drive. He wants to drive and forget his troubles and whatnot and whatnot. Hey, get back to this goddamn review. Sorry. So anyway, Charlize Theron says, "Hey, I'll make a deal. If you let us hitch a ride with you, although technically you're hitching a ride with us since I was driving this truck first, if you help us out and, let us on the truck, I will get that mask off of you." Yes, because during this whole time, they put a muzzle on Max, and he wants it off because it reminds him too much of when he was Bane in the Dark Knight movie, and it also reminds him too much of the Bane that's in this movie, the Rockstar guy. By the way, it's probably going to be confusing if you keep referring to the villain as Bane. I mean, I know he has a mask like Bane, but guess what? This movie stars the actor who played Bane, so it's gonna confuse people. Like, whenever say Bane, people are gonna confuse, wait a minute, is he talking about the guy who looks like Bane with the mask, or is he talking about the guy who played Bane? Yeah, you're right. I should call the villain something else. Fucked Up Mouth. So that was Fucked Up Mouth. How about Mash Mouth? No, his name is Fucked Up Mouth. So anyway, Fucked Up Mouth, Ryu, So anyway, God damn it. Sorry. So Mad Max agrees he agrees to let the women get up on the truck, and in turn for him to get rid of his Bane mask so he can move on to other things. He doesn't want to do any more DC movies. He doesn't want to be Rick Flag. He wants to be in a Marvel movie as Punisher. So anyway, so he agrees, and they go on the truck, and he finally gets freed from that albino Nicholas Hoult, boy. But then the albino skinhead boy wakes up in front of the evil villain, Fucked Up Mouth, and he tells them, hey, I'm your number one fan. Remember when you looked at me earlier? Oh my gosh, you're acknowledging my existence. Oh, I'm freaking out here. I'm so starstruck. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, nerdgasm. Oh, good. Oh. On with it. Sorry. So anyway, Fucked Up Mouth acknowledges him, and he's like, okay, take us to him. So they go after the truck of lovely ladies, and Charlize Theron made a deal with the Sand People from Star Wars. He made a deal with the Sand People to help him out, help her out, along with Mad Max. But they're like, no, fuck you, we're Sand People. And so they fuck them up, and they tried, and they also join the evil pack led by Fucked Up Mouth, with their porcupine mobiles. Hey, I bet Raina would like one of those. Too soon. She's recently died. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, Raina. Yes, rest in peace, Raina. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen the season finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Although you might have not been spoiled before if you don't know who Raina is, but you sure as hell are now. Anyway, so the Sandman with the Sand People, not Sandman, Mr. Sandman. Dream me a dream. Anyway, the Sand People with their porcupine mobiles also go after Charlize Theron and her truck of lovely ladies, except for Max, who is not a lovely lady because he is not a lady or lovely, and they're all going up against and they're all chasing her and chasing the truck, but then they get sidelined by a bunch of mountains, and the pregnant sex slave, who by the way is pregnant because Fucked Up Mouth uses these women as his breeders, to breed his children. By the way, are all of these people his children or something, or is it just that guy who follows him with the Hannibal mask? By the way, lots and lots of masks in this movie. You should have called this movie The Mask. Oh, wait a minute. There was already a movie called Mask, starring Jim Carrey as a green guy. And there was also already a movie called Mask, starring Cher's fucked up face son, who was based on a true story, so it's not that fucked up. Or shouldn't be, or we shouldn't say that. Sorry. Get back on track. Sorry. So anyway, so they go through that, but then the pregnant lady, is like, wait a minute, maybe if I give myself up, he'll stop running. Oh, wait a minute, we hit a bump on the road. Oh no, I fell off. Oh, I'm getting trampled over by one of the cars. Oh, I'm massacred. I'm dead. Oh yes, one of the ladies that the cyborg lady is trying to save has died, and it's very sad and stuff. Although I didn't know anything about her. Oh, good God! Like all of these chicks, like they have barely any character to them. Well, they do have a little bit of character to them, like the blonde one is doubtful of Max, is a skeptic, and the redhead one is open-minded, a little bit open-minded, considering what happens later. The one with short hair has short hair, and the one who is pregnant is more trusting and is more surveillant of what's going on with the situation. Although it doesn't matter now since she's dead. But anyway, then you've got the one with the black hair, who is the one with black hair. So yeah, it's really just the brunettes are the ones that don't have much character to them, as I think. I think it's just those. So if you have a brunette, so if you have black hair, then that means there's not much character to you. Hey, I have black hair. I mean, just in the movie, just in the the sex slaves. So anyway, but during this time that happened, not only was the pregnant girl killed in this accident, but so was the albino Nicholas Holt's big brother, whoever that guy was, with the Joker scars. So he's like, oh no, this is what makes me a good guy now. This is what makes me like with you guys, or at least this is what makes me all mopey and now I'm just gonna lay on this truck with you guys because I climbed on it like a gremlin, but now I'm all sad, and I'm just gonna sit here and think about life. Anyway, so back with the villains, they discover the trampled over, well, they didn't discover, they were there, the trampled over sex slave that was pregnant, and the only thing that fucked up mouth cares about is that the baby gets out. So they get a guy who is like, oh, I'll take the baby out, I'll C-section her, and he's like, make it so. So this guy who's like the Swedish chef, like so anyway, he's like, okay, I'm going to perform a C-section, and I'm going to act like I'm about to cut a turkey with the way I'm sharpening the knives. So he digs in, he cuts out the baby, and he's like, there's your baby, I'm going to just slap it there like a piece of ham, and I'm like, there's your stillborn baby. Holy shit, that's fucked up.
Well, this movie is rated R. You can perform C-sections and take out babies stillborn and slap the dead baby down on the table and declare it a baby dead boy.
Yes, and you know, I do feel a little for the villain, because he's like, it could have been a father. Well, I don't really feel for him, of course, because he's a because he's a polygamist, rapist, asshole, dictator guy. You know, he's like a King Henry VIII motherfucker. But I do kind of feel for his son, the one that didn't die, the one that's an adult with the Hannibal Lecter mask, because he's like, I had a son. I mean, I had a brother, and he was great in every way, but now he's dead. So yeah, that's kind of sad. I'll give it that. That was kind of that was me feeling for the villain a little bit, and that's a good thing since we are villains. Well, we shouldn't feel for the main villain, just the side villains, because the main villain is a raping asshole. But anyway, enough with the raping asshole. Let's get back to the truck having this road trip. You know, I just realized this is kind of like a road trip movie. I bet this is a better road trip movie than the vacation movie, Holiday Road.
Well, no shit, this is a post-apocalyptic road trip movie.
So yes, the redheaded girl discovers she discovers the albino boy, and she's like, hey, I know you tried to kill us, and you're partly the reason why the pregnant girl is now dead, but you can still redeem yourself, you can still be a good person, like, tell me about your friends. And he's like, okay, here's Larry and Barry, the two bumps on my shoulder, and he mentions how the Larry and Barry can kill him, so I guess Larry and Barry are tumors.
Well, that's just pathetic.
I don't think it's pathetic having tumors with smiley faces. I wish I was friends with my tumors, but I had to separate from them and I had to get them removed. Very sad.
Well, not for you, because you can live now.
Yeah. So anyway, enough with the anthropomorphic tumors. I'm a tumor. 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 So anyway, So what the fuck was I talking about? Yes. So in order to get to this utopia, this nice promised land, if you will, that the cyborg lady grew up in. First, they have to pass through this shithole swamp that is only inhabited by street performers. Yes, you know those people who like have stilts on all fours and they're like street performers, and there's no other way they can make money, so they just street perform. Well, apparently, in the post-apocalyptic future, they all came together and became a sub-race of humans that hang out in swamps. Anyway, so they pass that, and they go to this desert where they see this tower. They see this watchtower that's inhabited by this naked chick. What the fuck?
Yeah, there's a goddamn naked chick here. What the hell?
Well, I'm not complaining about the naked chick. I mean, thank you for that. Thank you for seeing some nice naked buttocks. But anyway, yeah, that was weird. So there's this naked chick. I guess she's naked, maybe to test them, maybe to see if they don't if they're not assholes with her being naked, or maybe it's because it's really hot because she's like in the sun all day in this desert. So naturally, you would think that maybe if you're gonna be on a watchtower all day naked, with no shade, you probably might as well be naked. If you're just gonna be in the sun all day, just sun yourself, like get a nice tan going. But it has to be an even tan, so you're naked. So anyway, she slides down and then she puts on a sack to not be naked anymore because apparently, this is the kind of R-rated that doesn't allow boobs showing, just a butt. So she covers her boobs and butt with a sack, and she goes over to them, and she also has a biker gang of old ladies, and the old lady biker gang accompanies welcomes the cyborg lady and her friends and the men. And it's actually kind of interesting how they characterize this.
Yeah, usually when you have a society in the future of just women, of just a female warrior group, usually it's the kind that hate men. It's like a reverse sexism kind of thing, because it's like to show people like, hey, this is how it feels the other way around. But this doesn't do that cliche. I mean this here society of only women, they are a little jumpy about the idea of men being with them. The albino Nicholas Holt boy and Mad Max, but they don't seem like too intolerant of them. They don't seem too bigoted towards them. They are alerted just at first, but then when the cyborg lady explains like, hey, they cool, they cool. I mean, they did beat us up at first, but they cool now. And the old ladies just accept it. They're not like bigoted towards them. They're not like, hey, motherfuckers, get the fuck out of here. They're like, okay, well, if you insist, okay, we'll let these penises hang out with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't like that trope of, the society of women who hate men. It's just that, it has been overdone, so it is fine. So it is nice to see a society of only women just being like, oh, okay, you got some men, okay, that's fine with us, whatever, it doesn't faze us.
Yeah, because usually if they don't hate the men, they want to have sex with the men, and these old ladies are like, no, we have no business. And these old ladies are like, okay, fine, we got these men allies, whatever.
So yes, but then the old lady biker gang are like, oh, wait a minute, by the way, thank you, for, choosing the only member of this biker gang who is not an old lady to be your, to be on watch out as a naked person. Thank you for choosing just the lady who looks like she's like in her mid to late 30s to be the one to be on lookout as naked instead of one of the old ladies. I appreciate that. I mean, I questioned it first, but now I appreciate that. I am appreciative towards that in hindsight.
Now on with the movie.
Yes. So anyway, but the old ladies have some bad news with the to the cyborg lady. Hey, remember that awesome promised land you were hoping to go to? Well, you already passed it, and it is that giant shithole that's only inhabited by street performers now. Oh no! Yes, the promised land is no more. The cyborg lady went all the way here for nothing. So then she's like, okay, let's just keep friggin' going. Let's just keep going until we find a place. And then Mad Max is like, okay, fine, I'm gonna do my own thing because I'm Mad Max and that's what I'm known for, just fucking off. But then he realizes, wait a minute, I need to help them out. After I have some flashbacks that kind of may or may not contradict with the previous movies.
What?
I'll get to that in a second when when we do our overall thoughts. But anyway, so he's like, wait a minute, I have a suggestion. Why not go back? Why not go back to the dystopia? Because even though it's a dystopia, it had all the stuff you're looking for: water, plants, food, farms, a society of people. Why not go back there? And she's like, but wait a minute, what about those assholes who run it? Well, we can have a climactic battle with them, and hopefully we'll kill those assholes. And Cyborg Lady is like, okay, fine, we'll do it. Are you with me, former sex slaves and old lady bikers and woman who was naked for no apparent reason? And they're like, yes, we'll do it. You too, Nicholas Holt. So they get on the truck, and they go back to the dystopia, and they bring with them their biker friends on the bikes, on the old lady biker gang, and they're going against the villains, and the villains are like on break. They're like on break, like everyone's lounging, like do 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 do. But then they notice, hey, wait a minute! They're trying to go back to our land. Oh, maybe it was a bad idea for all of the officials, all of the important leaders of the land to all go as a group after them. Oh well, let's go after them now. Yeah, let's get back on it. Let's have the guitar player back on the guitar to supply the ambience. So anyway, so now they're chasing after the good group. The bad biker gang is going after the good biker gang, and they're going through the mountains again, and there's turmoil, and there's more of those sand people with the with the porcupine mobiles, and they get all fucked up and they get killed. And so it's a big climactic battle of protecting these women and also protecting themselves, because they can handle themselves. They're not damsels in distress, especially the Cyborg Lady. She's a badass. She's like Carol, except a different type of apocalypse. Instead of the zombie apocalypse, it's the biker apocalypse, which is weird since that's a thing now. I wonder if it's these movies that started that trace, that started that trend.
Probably.
Oh, okay. So anyway,
I said probably.
Oh, okay. So anyway, so they're going after them, and so Nicholas Holt and the badass the old lady bikers are fighting back. They're fighting with all their might. They're getting rid of villain after villain. They're killing people. They're jumping off of their cars, jumping onto the bad guy cars and beating them up, and big mass explosions. And there's a bunch of casualties, bunch of old lady bikers that perish, and so does the naked lady. No, not the naked lady, although she's not naked now, but she could be naked later, but now she'll never be naked again. She'll never be naked again because you killed her. Evil villains, oh, how could you do that? So anyway, they're battling each other, while still going forward. They're still, it's one of those epic battles that are like take place on cars. It's a post-apocalyptic car chase, and they're beating each other up on the cars while they're still going. Mad Max takes over the car that's being driven by the man with the golden nose, and he kills the man with the golden nose, and he throws away the man with the golden nose. I broke it that one, but anyway, I'll say it one more time. The man with the golden nose. Okay, I broke a little bit less with that one. Anyway, so anyway, they're beating people up. They kill the guy with the Hannibal Lecter mask. They kill the insincere C-section guy. They kill the rock star, the guitar player, and finally, all that's left to kill is the fucked up mouth. But fucked up mouth won't go without swinging, because he's on his car, and he's got one of the girls who tried to pretend to surrender to her, but it turned out no, she's not dumb. She's being a badass because she's beating him up, and they're beating him up. And anyway, but then but then he gets but then what the fuck am I saying? Ah, yes, the Hannibal Lecter mask guy is still alive and he's beating them up. But the only way to and he's severely injured the cyborg lady. He's severely injured her and she's dying and so they're like, okay, let's transfer cars here. No wait, let's not transfer cars. Yes, let's transfer cars. Let's go to the fucked up mouth's car. So they all go into the fucked up mouth's car, and the lady and the girl pretended to surrender the fucked up mouth, pulls his friggin' apparatus off of his face, making his fucked up mouth even more fucked up. And so they all get on his car because it's more safer. But Albino Nicholas Holt is like, hey guys, I'm gonna stay on this car. I'm gonna sacrifice my life. I'm sorry, redheaded lady. I'm sorry, okay? I must go to Valhalla now.
Yeah, apparently apparently the main religion now is Norse mythology again.
Yeah, that was weird. That Norse mythology was the one to have a comeback. It's weird. It's like apparently in the post-apocalyptic future, Christianity is dead, Buddhism is dead, Islam is dead, Judaism is dead, and Hinduism is dead, but not Norseism. That's still going, even though it's extinct now. Apparently, it makes a comeback in the post-apocalyptic. You had a good run, other religions, but apparently you're not as fruitful as Norse mythology. What the fuck?
Yeah, apparently that. But Thor ain't gonna save these motherfuckers because they all dead.
Yes, except for the Hannibal Lecter mask guy. He's still going, and he's trying to take over the truck that everyone has left, except for Nicholas Holt. He still has to ride it, and he's like, I'm gonna go to Vanilla now, and he rolls over the truck, and the truck is destroyed. Oh no, no, the albino Nicholas Holt, he's dead now, I guess. We don't really see a body, so maybe he's alive, maybe he's not.
Yeah, very sad.
Yeah, he was like our equivalent to the Gyro Captain, and now he's dead. They never killed the Gyro Captain, or that other character who was a separate character in the third Mad Max movie, even though that was basically the same character, it's just that he was just an enemy instead of an ally, but he was played by the same actor. Anyway, what I'm saying is, yes, Nicholas Holt is dead. Who knows? Maybe they'll keep up the tradition of the previous films where he'll play a different character who is kind of similar but a little bit different.
Yeah, probably they'll do that.
Yeah, to honor the previous film, since they don't honor it by having a Mel Gibson cameo.
It's probably because they like the Jews.
Yeah, that's probably it. So anyway, fuck you, Mel Gibson. But anyway, but not fuck you to the guy who played Bane and Mad Max, Tom Hardy, because he is not an anti-Semite. So anyway, so now that there's no villains trying to chase after them, they go back to the dystopia, and everyone's like, hey, where the hell is our leader? And Mad Max is like, oh, you want our leader? Here's your leader. Here is his corpse with his more fucked up mouth. And they're like, oh my god, what do we do? Let's rely on that little midget guy. The only government official to not have been stupidly go out on that mission, and he actually is still alive. And so the little midget, who I guess he's a reference to the midget from Thunderdome. But anyway, the midget is like, I declare that these guys are the new leaders.
That is very offensive to short people everywhere.
Hey, I just decided to go for it. Anyway, but there's a lot of badass guys like Mini-Me and the guy who played Wicket and Tyrion. But anyway, so he declares that they are okay, okie dokie, and all of the civilians are like, yay, let's take apart the fucked up mouth's body and make his body fucked up. Yay, let's pull apart his body. Yay, I got the ribs, I got the spleen, I got his heart, I got his head, I got his penis, I got his penis, oh, I got his penis. So anyway, so they're all being lifted up by the civilians, and they're like, oh yay, we're worshipped now. But wait a minute, where's Mad Max? Oh, he's leaving. Yes, Mad Max is leaving because he is Mad Max. And the thing about Mad Max is that no matter how you end a Mad Max movie, it will always end with him helping the group of people that needed help. And then he'll be like, okay, I'm gonna fuck off now and leave. So he leaves, and then the movie closes with a quote, a very philosophical, mind-opening quote, a quote that I do not remember. Do you, Amanda Waller, remember that quote?
I don't know, something about slaves.
Yes, a slave quote. Very deep. Too bad I don't remember it. Anyway, movie over. Fuck you, movie over. It's done. Good. Woo! So that was Mad Max, everybody. Man, how did you feel about the movie?
Well, I felt it was like non-stop action.
Yes, a lot of people would argue that that's what, well, if we want a non-stop action ride, we can just watch Avengers Age of Ultron again. Well, my answer to that is, here's the thing with Age of Ultron, okay? Even though it was good, and I praised it last episode, and, I allowed the my natural bias against superheroes to not be affected by that, even though I did that, it still had a lot of themes it was trying to convey. That was kind of its problem, was that it tried to be this high-octane ride while also being deep and whatnot. And this, on the other hand, was not deep. That's why they had the quote to meet up with their, to have some compensation without being deep. This was just a ride, a pure high-octane ride, all in all. They didn't have to try to complicate it a little bit with talking about themes and whatnot. They were like, hey, let's have a road trip on the post-apocalyptic, and let's have explosions and beating people up, and let's have a rock star who, by the way, was one of the casualties who got killed because Mad Max was like, hey, this movie already has a music score. We don't need you. Punch, punch, kill. Anyway, this movie didn't need a whole bunch of themes. All they had to do was just put a little quote at the end by whatever the fuck. I still don't remember the quote. But yes, we didn't need all of these themes. We just needed a fun ride. And I think that's what we got from this. Non-stop action. It's a hoot. It's a romp. It's a big old fucked up fun fest of post-apocalypticism, and I think it's great that the director of this film has managed to make every single one of these films.
Yeah, apparently he's made every single one of them.
And I think it's great that the movie studio trusted him with that, and he was like, hey, if anyone's gonna run this franchise down to the ground, then it should be the guy who began it. And they did it. They gave him They gave it to him, they trusted him, and he delivered no matter what. Yeah, so I think it's great that they trusted the guy who began this film franchise to continue it, or end it, I don't know. These films kind of end each the same way. But anyway, so it's great that they did that because it showed that he still wants to do these types of movies, these bad type movies, and after, doing other films like Happy Feet. What the fuck, Happy Feet? Yes, the director of all the Mad Max films has directed Happy Feet. Motherfucking Happy Feet.
Yeah, but in a way, let's talk more about, let's do a little bit more about analyzation.
Yes, like comparing it to the previous films. Because you see, it's still a little iffy about whether or not this is connected to the previous films. I mean, there's certain things that are, like how he has a dead family, and that's why he's just a drifter now, is he's trying to forget that part of his life. from the flashbacks they show from his hallucinations, after being branded with the Ghost Rider's head, with a symbol on his neck, the flashbacks he have is of a little girl, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that his daughter? Did they retcon that to where he has a daughter now instead of a son? So is this a reboot, or is this just a loose sequel? That's the thing, is that he had a son in the original, but in this his flashbacks imply that he has a daughter. So that was weird. Also there were changes here for the better, right? Yes. You see, the first film establishes Mad Max as, a former cop. Well, they first show him as a cop, but then he realizes how corrupted the system really is, and how his family is dead now because he couldn't defeat this villain, but he does. But now he forgets the life he previously had, and he just goes on the road, and that's what the first Mad Max film. But then the other two Mad Max films after this, they, on the other hand, felt like they were repeating each other. They on the other hand, went by a formula that was. They went by a formula where Mad Max stumbles across this group of people, these innocent people who are just trying to not be bothered by the evil people that Mad Max also encounters. What
the fuck was that?
Sorry, that was me coughing weirdly. But anyway, so the formula is that Mad Max stumbles across this group of people who are trying to escape from evil people, and he has to be like, god damn it, I don't want to help these people, I don't give a fuck. And then he's like, okay, god damn it, I'll help you then. Ugh. So he reluctantly helps them out with getting them to their location that they want to go to, and then but he never goes to that place that they're going to, like this promised land. And so he just goes back to wandering the desert like he always does. And that's basically the formula of the first two. And this movie, on the other hand, does kind of follow that formula a little bit in certain places. It still does do its own thing at times.
Yeah, like how it makes you think that they're following the formula at first, by having Mad Max helping this group of innocent people go to this promised land, but then it turns out that the promised land is a shithole.
Yeah, they do that, and it turns out that the promised land that they really should go to is the land that they were always at from the start. That place. That is the place they should go back to. Which means that the trip was completely useless, but that's beyond the point.
Yeah, it's different. It turns out they just go back to the place they were before. That's different.
Yes, and Mad Max technically was already at the promised land that they needed to go to. So there's also a change. He doesn't have to be like Moses, where he has to take all these people to the promised land, but doesn't get to go there himself because he smashed rocks that had stuff on it. So in this one, at least he actually goes there before he leaves to continue being Mad Max. And I do admire the change, keeping it fresh, keeping it real, yo.
So yeah, I admire it too. So I guess we'll rate the film now?
Yes, we rate the film. Would you rather, do you think the folks at home should either watch this movie or spray paint their mouth gray so they can sacrifice themselves and go to Valhalla and hang out with Thor and Odin?
I do like Valhalla, but I think they should watch this movie because I had a blast.
Me too. Sometimes it's good just to have a good fun movie without overindulging themes. Although it's kind of weird that they decided to put that there then at the end because they were like, "Oh, we need something, so let's just put this little quote that everyone forgot."
Something about slaves, I think.
Yeah, something about slaves. So that's the review, everybody. That was the review of Mad Max Fury Road. And it's been a fun ride. Amanda Waller, is this really it? Is this the last time I'll hang out with you?
Fuck no. I guess I'm just gonna be back for the films that I reviewed before that there's gonna be sequels to. I mean, I might as well finish what I started.
Oh, so does that mean you'll be back for the Hunger Games finale review and the Maze Runner sequels?
Yeah, whatever. But only those. Then I'm kaput. Unless this has a sequel. God damn it, I painted myself into a corner.
You sure as hell did, Amanda Waller. You sure as hell did. I'll see you guys next time when I review a film we already talked about, but fuck it, I'm gonna talk about it again. I'm gonna review that movie about the pin that makes you think you're at a certain place, but then it turns out you're not at that place. But now you need to go to it and meet House and George Clooney and get in a bathtub with him, like in the Avengers, except without George Clooney. I'll see you next time. So how are things going with Blob? How's the relationship going with him?
Not good. I broke up with him.
What? Oh my god, why?
I just felt he was like too needy.
Oh man, he's probably destroyed now. He's probably heartbroken. You think he'll still try to do his own review show?
He better. I mean, I'm not keep in mind, Gravitalk. I just feel like we need a break. We need to meet other people, you know?
I don't know, Amanda Waller. Usually when people say, let's meet other people, let's have a break, that usually means like, yeah, let's kaput.
Good point. But I feel like it's for the best. I feel like he's too needy on me. He's too reliable on me. He needs to learn how to fend for himself.
True. Maybe this will inspire him to finally exercise now.